be followed by some questions and answers. So don't hesitate to write them in the chat. The test scenarios for today. So the EU INTRA will be a short journey between France and Belgium. And the journey log will be a long journey between France and Greece. For the purpose of the training, we have created a few test profiles in the training environment. This list of profiles will be shared with you afterwards, so you will be able to train yourself. We kindly ask you not to modify the profiles or the passwords, because everyone should be able to log in with the passwords given here. If you have any connection issues, then you can send us an email at the help desk. All right, let's start. So part one, to complete part one, I will log in as an economic operator. All right, so now I am logged in as the place of departure. For your information, you can always verify with which role you're connected by clicking here on the email address, and here you can see your role. To issue the INTRA, click on here Documents and then EU INTRA. Here you can create the new INTRA certificate. The first step will be to select the commodity. You can either do that by searching here the CN code or the name of the model or the species. For example, if I look for bovine, I will have here some options. Another option is to search with the species or to expand the CN code directly. Clicking here, you will see all the available models. For the purpose of the training, I will use this one. Click here to select it and then on done. So this is the layout of the part one of the INTRA. As you can see, it looks more similar to the PDF than in Traces Classic. A few tips before we start. The red star here shows mandatory boxes, while the blue icon here show optional boxes. On the side here, you have the shortcuts. They allow you to move inside the documents faster. For example, go straight to the commodity part. All right, so let's start with box 1.1, the consigner. As you will see in Traces NT, every box works the same way. So to select here the consigner, you have three options. You can click here on the box or on the edit button to open the box. Select the country. And then here type the name of the operator if you know it. Please let me know if you can see the screen, if everything is okay. All right. So when searching here for the operator, we recommend to type only part of the name as so that the system can propose the operators the correct operators. Because if you type the whole name, the system might show you a lot of options.
My name is Ibrahim. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
So it is the first time that I connect, and my name is Ibrahim. I have a lot of difficulties to connect.
The option to select your consigner is to use the advanced search. Here you can expand it here to have some more options. departure. You can select another option, then search. Here, when you find your operator, click on select to select it. The other option here is to set the operator as your favorite. You can see here a small star. When you click on it, it will become yellow. This means that this operator will be in your favorite list, and you will be able to select it for in other certificates easier. So when you find your operator, click on select. Every information here is automatically filled. For the consignee, it works the same way. I will show you the favorite. So your favorite list of operator is here under the star, the button with the star. You can see it's now, this is the one that we selected here, this one. So as place of destination, I will select an operator in Belgium. On this side, you have the IMSOC reference. This is the reference number of the INTRA. It will be given automatically by the system when you submit the INTRA. The local reference is optional. As you can see, there is the blue icon here. The authority, central and local competent authority, will be populated based on the place of dispatch. I will show you when we fill this box. And this box here, 1.6, is optional as well. So I will leave it blank for the purpose of the training. In this box here, the links, this is, for example, if the certificate has been replaced, the link to the previous certificate will appear here. Box 1.9, country of destination, is also automatic based on the consignee, as well as the 1.12, place of destination. Of course, this box can be modified if the place of destination is different than the consignee. To clear the box, click here on clear, then you will be able to select another operator. For the purpose of the training, I will use the same operator. The place of dispatch, so again, the box works the same way as the other ones. For the purpose of the training, I will use the same operator as the consignor. So the place of departure, of course, it can be another operator. As you can see here, the authorities have been filled based on the authority of the place of dispatch. You can see that there are 3 different authorities, and once one of them signs the INTRA, then the information of that authority will appear here. Box 113, the place of loading. It can be an operator or a control location. I will select an operator here. Again, the same as the place of dispatch. The date and time of departure. This box is also mandatory. By clicking here on the small clock, you will set the time as now. If you would like to change the date, you can click here on the box, and then choose the date in the calendar. For the time, click on the box as well, and then select another time if necessary. The date of arrival is optional. However, this box here will be filled only if these two, the departure and the date of departure and date of arrival, are completed. So I will complete to show you. All right, as you can see here, the duration is 2 hours based on this information in 114 and date of arrival. The means of transport, you can click here and select your mean of transport. I will select a road vehicle, choose the country and the vehicle registration. If the vehicle is already registered in Traces, if you already used it before, for example, The registration will appear here in the drop-down menu. You can simply select it. To clear the information, click on Clear. I will show you in case the vehicle registration is not yet in TNT. Let's try. So if you see that nothing appears here in the menu, you have to click on here, Create. Now the vehicle is registered in TNT, and you will be able to use it later on in other certificates. You can also add an additional means of transport. For example, I will add a vessel. This works the same way. So choose the country and the ship's name, etc., every information. You can, when adding more than one means of transport, you can click and drag on the double arrow here to move. I'm sorry, I will add another. All right, you can click on the double arrow here. Why doesn't it? To drag and drop. All right. It appears that it's not working, but it should work. Okay. And you can order the means of transport as necessary. To remove one of them, just click on Remove. Box 116, the transporter, is also mandatory. Box 116, the accompanying documents, you have two options here. Either you can add a certificate reference. This option is only available if the certificate is already created in TNT. Unfortunately, I cannot show you because this feature is still being developed, but it will work like this. You will write the number of the journey log in this case. You will be able to select it and then apply. The other option is to add an accompanying document as attachment. For example, commercial invoice, type the number, the country. You can drop here the file or select it to attach it, and then click on Apply. You can see here on the side that the accompanying document will appear here as well. The container number, seal number, is also an optional box. Note that as soon as you start typing a container number and seal number, another line will appear. Box 120, certified as, I will select this one. Note that the options here depend on the model used, so it will not always be the same options. Box 121, 22, and 23, as you can see, they're not mandatory. However, once you select it, it becomes mandatory. This means that you will need to fill all this information in order to submit the EU INTRA. So for transit through a third country, I will show you, for example, this is only an example. I know that we don't go through Albania to go from France to Belgium. So I will show you if we go through Albania and Bosnia, for example, you can add as many countries here as necessary. Then to choose the exit point, click on Advanced. I will find an exit point in Croatia, for example, this one, and an entry point in Greece. All right, so this is the information needed to select this box. Now, box 123 for exports. Again, I will show you as an example. If we go to Argentina and select an exit point in Belgium, for example, it will look like this. If you want to change the exit point, click on Clear. Oh, all right, so it will work, but click on clear. For the purpose of the training, we will use the 122 for transit through member states, and we will go through Luxembourg, for example. Again, you can select more than one country here, and also note that the competent authority for the country selected here will be notified and will have access to the EU INTRA. Box 124, the estimated journey time. This is calculated between the place of dispatch and the place of destination. So these are the operators that we selected here, place of dispatch and place of destination. The preview tool is not working yet, but it will probably work when the EU INTRA goes live. The box 125, the access to journey log. This box is also still being developed. For the moment, you can already search for journey log and select one, and the link will appear here. Now let's see the description of the consignments. You have many options here. You can add a new commodity. Note that you can only add commodities that fall under the same model. You can modify the commodities. It works the same way, so you untick and then tick another one. And you can change the model. Again, untick and then use another one. The identification here, all these options also depend on the model that you used. So it will not always be these options. It will change depending on the CN code and the model. This option here to clear the identification will remove these options. I can show you. So now there is no descriptor anymore. And here you can add either one line of description, identification, sorry, or you can add 5, 10, 50, or 100 at a time. The default quantity unit. This is useful if you have many lines here, as it will set this unit here for every line. Of course, you can change it here as well. To select the species, click on the box and select the species. Same for the breed, category, identification system, the identification number, the sex, the age. Here, it's important to choose the unit here. Otherwise, you will not be able to submit the EU INTRA. And the quantity. As you can see here, the total quantity is automatic based on the quantity here. The total gross weight is also mandatory. And the total space is not mandatory. I will put 30 as an example. All right, so now that we filled part 1, there is 2 options here. Either it's possible to save as drafts. This option is actually available as soon as the consignee and consigner are completed. All right. As you can see, once you save as draft, the system gives a number to the INTRA. Note that it's a draft number, so once you will submit for certification, this number will change to the definitive number. We can also see here the status of the INTRA as draft. Note that when the EU INTRA is in a status draft, only the economic operator or the person who created this part 1 has access to the EU INTRA. And of course, every box is still editable. Right, if everything is correct, we can now submit for certification. Oh, all right. Okay, well, then I can show you here if there is an error. When clicking on the error message, the system will directly bring you to the box with the error. Okay, I will remove this. All right, so now the INTRA is submitted. You can see here, this is the definitive number, and the current status is new. So at this point, the economic operator still has access to the EU INTRA and can edit every box. However, the authority also has access to the INTRA. All right, yes, here you also have the option to preview the PDF. All right. Okay, I can show you. So you can see part 1 is completed. All right, so this is part 1. I don't know if you have any questions.